I don't know. But even just looking out your window, you could kind of see like this is not a good travel situation.
Right. It's one of those where leaving early doesn't necessarily help you, or you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It just kept on going.
So much snow that school administrators already canceled school for tomorrow in Erie. So I guess they were already off today as part of the holiday.
Okay.
But they're still not recovered yet. There's so much snow to dig out from.
Other areas have just done an incredible job, I think, though, too,
Yeah.
you know, of getting it cleared off in time. And, you know, that was the case in the south towns of Buffalo, too.
Yes, yes. Well, Gaylord, Michigan, another big winner when it came to snowfall. They had their snowiest day on record with 24.8 inches of snow.
Look at all the black squirrels. They're looking for the food already. Huh? Digging a hole down there?
Well, they're like tunneling, right? How are they getting through that 2 feet of snow?
I don't know, but, you know, there was like literally, I think, you know, you were on vacation last week, but yeah, I think it was Friday. There was literally nothing. It was bare ground. And now it's like the bottom circle of the snowball or of the snowman is full up.
So this is big snow for them, obviously. They're going to get some more chances coming up in the next week.
Yeah, that's right. So today, the rest of the week. And so a lot of times when we have our jet stream going like this, it guides in those little pieces of energy that spin off and come in from Canada with a push of that cold air. And so we can get clippers coming in every couple of days, say every 2-3 days, they'll come in with lake effect on the backside of them. So this time around, that low is going to be coming in and tracking on up towards the north more than anything else, kind of broadening out this warm sector, warm enough that most of the big cities along I-95 are going to be seeing rain, and a little bit of a mix here into Pennsylvania, Ohio, and into West Virginia, but plenty of snow expected elsewhere, along with some really gusty conditions. So this will be much more widespread than the lake effect that we've been dealing with, and a lot of us will get at least a coating of snow. Clippers move really quickly, right? This thing really doesn't come in and get going until late on Wednesday, and will continue into Thursday across the north and east. But, you know, what concerns me the most, honestly, are the wind gusts that could be around 50 miles per hour combined with the snow, really reducing visibility and keeping the roads kind of icy and slick because it just keeps blowing it all over the region. Now, in terms of the snowfall totals, not all that much other than in the favored areas off the lakes. And this, again, is going to be more of a northwesterly flow. That's where you could get maybe double-digit snowfall at the most. The rest of us should come out of this with about 1 to 3.
Coming down at inches per hour rates, it's just impossible to keep up with. We do have snow at the moment, not that heavy, but snow is falling in and around the St. Louis airport. We've stayed on time, though, so not reporting any delays out there, but snow falling from parts of eastern Missouri into central and southern Illinois. And while it's not the heaviest of snow, temperatures are below freezing. So your drive to the airport, just make sure you give yourself a little extra time. It's been amazing with these security wait times here. Chicago, you did have a wait time of close to 40 minutes for a little bit, but now you're back at around 10 minutes. So doing fantastic. St. Louis, the wait time there, 12 minutes. I mean, if you're under 15, I think, you know, that's as good as it's going to get, right? Delays are possible at all these hubs today. Again, some light snow showers in the air. I think overall, we're not going to have any major issues out here because of the weather. St. Louis, we are getting light snow. It's snowing at the airport. It's going to be snowing out there in some of the roads. We watch through the next few hours, some of that light snow sinking a little further south. And by tonight, it's possible we get some snow. Nashville, it's not out of the question that you see some snowflakes, not really looking for a lot of accumulation, but you will in eastern Kentucky and East Tennessee, Knoxville. We've got some chances of snow coming on in, and you'll see that as we get through late night into early tomorrow morning. Mountains of North Carolina, too, into, say, Asheville. Some snow chances come your way as we get through early tomorrow morning. Then things kind of fizzle then. To the east, no delays here. We've got de-icing going on, and that's creating some departure delays, perhaps in Pittsburgh or Cleveland or Buffalo. Other hubs look great. We're not seeing any delays. The potential there for delays, I think, overall looks pretty good. We're not anticipating a lot. Philly now coming in with about a 24-minute security wait time. But again, hard to complain when it's this short, really, Jackie. I always plan for longer than this.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's the smart, safe thing to do, but I'm a planner, right? I'd rather be early than miss my flight or be like...
Certainly something to be concerned about. That Saturday morning is the time as we get through the afternoon and evening. There's a lot of moisture in this forecast here. And so, again, we'll have to watch pretty closely on the temperatures. It is much more wet than it is icy. And it could be quite wet, actually, with a lot of rainfall in that forecast. Good news for the drought. But bad news for travelers. And, you know, we know this time of year there's something going on almost every day and certainly the weekend. Jackie, we got rain, We got temperatures that will be cooling down too by the weekend. Now 60s in Corpus Christi, not that bad, but for others, it'll be even chillier.
Absolutely. I always feel like a cold rain is not fun.
No, it's definitely not
at
fun.
all. But ice is worse. I'll say, you know, because it's rain that comes down cold, but then ice is on contact, and that can really be a headache for drivers.
Well, you may have heard of the Miracle on 34th. Such a great tradition. And those are the kind of core memories that these kids will have for the rest of their lives. You know?
Oh, yeah. If you can make it an annual tradition, too, I think it's really special.
So they said no snow, and they didn't have snow. Will there be snow? Because this, you know, the decorations are still up, obviously.
Not a lot.
Probably not in Philly. No.
I don't think it's looking too great for you there, or in New York, or even in Boston.
Not from this clipper. So we've got a clipper system that's going to be scooting out of Canada, moving across the Great Lakes into the Northeast. And these kind of systems typically don't bring a lot of moisture, and they move fast.
That's right. The cold's coming in on the backside of all of it. So that's where we're going to see some of the heavier snowfall with the enhancement coming in off the lakes. But we'll have more widespread snow compared to what we had this last weekend with just very localized lake effect.
Yeah, and so more people get a chance at it. There'll be less overall in terms of amounts. Big cities, I-95, probably not getting much. Boston, I think you're right on the edge. I mean, could you see a couple of flakes? It's possible. And if you commute in from New Hampshire, you'll probably run into snow.
Right. Of course, the higher elevations will get a little bit of a boost to go along with this. But it's good that it's pretty quick moving. One of the biggest issues, I think, with this thing overall is going to be the winds. And so combine the winds with the snow, that can bring visibility down further. But the winds themselves, I think, could cause airport delays and maybe even a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. Anyone who's got those inflatable decorations are going to keep those down, right? What else? You know, it's certainly the lights swinging out there. You'll hear that kind of on your rooftop if you hang those icicle lights. This is the kind of wind that we're going to be dealing with.
Maybe some spotty power outages. I wouldn't rule that out. More isolated, but it's always good, I think, this time of the year to be prepared for that because it's really tough when it's so cold if you don't have a way to get the heat.
The wind is going to drive down the wind chill. So, you know, the air itself is going to be cold enough, but behind the system, we're going to see those wind chills dropping into the teens and even single digits.
We thought it was the cold air of the season last weekend. Now it's going to be the coldest air of the season yet again.
Holiday travel has been tough for many Pete Hardy because they don't have to do these kind of things in the morning before they go to school.
Right? I used to have to plug in my car. Seriously, or wouldn't be warm enough to be able to do that. I mean, now they're all fuel injected, so you don't have to worry about that so much. But, yep, the things we really had to do up north. Today, it's cold, but we also have a little bit of snow. It's a weak little disturbance that's working right now across the middle Mississippi River Valley that's diving down towards Kentucky, into Tennessee, eventually over towards North Carolina. And, you know, it's not much more than flurries or just a light coating depending on where you live. We've seen the coating for you in St. Louis. No delays reported at Lambert International, but just enough to be kind of a nuisance on some of the roadways. Now, if you're a straggling holiday traveler here at the airport, you are in good shape when it comes to the security wait times. Look at Minneapolis, 5 minutes, that's it. Chicago O'Hare, lengthier earlier, but now only 10 minutes. Kansas City, a 6-minute time to get through security and about 12 minutes in St. Louis. So that is, I feel like, nothing to complain about here whatsoever. There is de-icing in Minneapolis. We've got de-icing in Cleveland. We've got de-icing in Salt Lake City. So just know that that will usually be about a 15-minute departure delay, give or take 5 minutes, depending where your status is in the line waiting to get that done. But I want to time out this little disturbance because I don't want it to catch you off guard if you're traveling later on this afternoon or even into the evening hours. So notice this moves towards the Boot Heel and into western parts of Kentucky later on this evening. Scattered snow showers and flurries into eastern Tennessee and into Kentucky. And then we'll get a little extra upslope here in the mountains of North Carolina that could bring a nice little coating into the overnight hours. So you may be waking up to some of those wetter conditions that could affect the roadways because it will be cold enough that whatever falls there is going to be sticking. As for the airports, everything are looking really good right now. As our next clipper comes in, I think that that could bring some wind delays. But as for today, we're looking pretty good. In terms of security wait times, Boston only 8 minutes. Where are all these airports when I'm traveling that only have like these 5 to 10 minute security wait times? That's pretty incredible, quite honestly. Philadelphia delays, not delays, but security wait times about 24. Apparently that's lengthy compared to what everybody else is doing today. But Jen, it'll probably improve later on if trends this morning are any tell.
Overall, it's looked pretty good out there.
There's always, yeah, little lint. I found dog treats in my pockets before that I've left.
Does that stink?
No, it didn't stink. Maybe it was a little stale.
Stale.
You know, I didn't give it to the dog.
Yeah.
But I found that.
But you'll eat gum that you left in 6 months ago.
I wouldn't. I was just kind of saying that. Yeah. But I might try a hard candy, maybe, if I was like desperate or had a sore throat or something.
This is making me want to check all my pockets too, just out of curiosity. We'll keep the comments coming. Share pics and video using the hashtag YesTV, and we